What is up, everybody, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Camera Junkie livestream. My name's Luis, also known as Mr. Camera Junkie, where I remind you to upgrade your skills before your gear. If it's your first time here, welcome. Please be sure to introduce yourself in the chat so you can get the nice Camera Junkie crew welcome. And as tradition goes around here, the first thing that I always do is go ahead and check to see who's hanging out in the chat. All right. So let's go ahead and move over here to our comments area. And right off the bat, we have Parker Jennings saying, hello, everyone. How are you? We also have Kevin in the house saying, hello, all. Ernesto saying, hi, fam. Happy Saturday. Welcome, welcome. And Mr. Paul Duncan saying hi to Kevin and Ernesto hanging out here in the chat. All right. Well, with that, we'll see who else trickles in as we continue. But happy Saturday to everyone. And I guess to do a bit of housekeeping, right? A bit of an update. Last week, I spoke to you guys about buying a very inexpensive monitor. So if I just go to this shot over here for my teleprompter, well, the update is that it did not last. By like day 2 or day 3 of me using it consistently, it just stopped receiving signal. So I already packed it up and I'm shipping it back to Amazon, sending it back, and overnighted another one. This is a Feel World. I believe that's the way that it's branded. Oh, sorry. The Feel World monitor. It's like ultra thin. It cost me about $100. So, excuse me, definitely like twice as much as the one that I had previously got. But this is where you buy once, cry once, so to speak. And it's working a lot better, but the same things apply, where I'm still using the circular polarized filter, so that what's on display and what I'm able to read now is a lot brighter without the need of it actually like projecting onto the teleprompter where the lens could pick it up. But just to give you an understanding of exactly what it is doing, right, with the polarized filter on there doing that for it, as you can see the monitor in the back here, it's on, but it looks almost black, like almost pitch black, because of the fact that it's not allowing those light waves to go through, which are the same ones that are hitting it and creating the reflection. So it's pretty interesting. But just to give a little bit of an update, but I did have to get a new screen here, or a new LCD monitor, so that I can have the teleprompter working the way that I like. Hey, Nano is in the house saying hello, folks. Kevin says, I love my Lilliput A7. That was actually one of the ones that was on my short list for my teleprompter setup. Yeah, like the 7-inch is great for me. As you can see, like in the space that I have here, don't have all the space in the world. But one thing that also helped me here was that I did change the lens. I went with the 20mm f2.8 pancake lens, and once I switched over to that one, it really made a difference, for the reason that like it totally sunk the entire unit even further back. So it's giving me more space and actually able to get a better shot in my eyes. But there's a couple of things that I'm also thinking about doing, right? Because a couple of lenses that I found on Amazon that are like really, really inexpensive, but then at the same time they're manual focus lens, so they could actually end up working really well for my set shots like this one and my B shot over here. Because you can see this vintage lens, this Tamron 28, I was looking it up, which is what we're gonna get into in a little bit with Notion, right? But as I was looking it up, oh, look at this, just sneaking into the shot. Get that cable out of the way. But as you can see, like the glow over my head and how bright it is, and I have a pretty sizable lens hood on this lens right now. just to kind of minimize as much flaring, because this one is like really prone to flaring. But everything that you're seeing here is directly through the lens, and it's really surprising because if I go back to like this shot over here, the FX30, oh, actually, DJ MCJ in the house, we're skipping that song. Okay, so going back to this has a mist filter, and so does my A shot. So this also has a pro mist that's listed there, and that circular polarized filter. So it's really, adjusting with the way the image is coming out. But then, it's still a decent lens at f2.8. So, messing around with different lenses and seeing how they come out, but it really does surprise me how much effect this lens has all on its own. Like, this is like character at 11, right? Like, that's the way that I see it, and it's picking up all these like highlighted colors. You can see it's very, I think this gives the most, what was that movie? Speedrunner? Yeah. This gives the most speedrunner vibes. So this shot right here, to me, in my opinion, right? Especially not so much the background, but the way the glow comes off of like every section. Like the blue is highlighted, the magenta is highlighted, and still it's almost even blown out right here. So definitely plenty of light. Excuse me. My apologies. Let me get something to drink real quick. All right, let me go back to the comments over here. Okay, so everybody's saying what's up to each other. Gretchen is in here saying hi to me and to Aiden. Aiden, Gretchen says hi. Saying hi to the crew. Yeah, as you can tell, right? Crazy glow. That lens is like old school, and it just surprises me because like you can get that directly out of the camera. But not to get too deep on the lenses, because that's kind of what I was going to talk about right now. Before we get into what we're going to speak about, please be sure to hit the like button before I forget to remind you later, right? If you're here right now, do it now, and that way we get it out of the way. All right, so we're going to be talking about Notion. Now, some of you probably already been using this, and I'm like, Luis, you're late to the game, and I understand. I was made aware of its awesomeness about a year ago, during an episode of The Flow while I was producing it. So with that being said, haven't really had the time, but now it's kind of like things are starting to come together, and that's just the best way that I could explain it. For me, that it's as if like I've gotten and I've been acquiring all of these puzzle pieces, and now I'm starting to see how they come together for my picture. With that being said, I've been looking at a variety of different things. I absolutely love Fourth Wall, but I wanted to do other things that Fourth Wall really didn't give me the ability to do, like a simple landing page, something to get some information out quickly and easily. And one of the things that I've been trying to do is I've had for a while my ethics statement for working with brands, and that ethics statement is one that I've kind of used Chat GPT to kind of reword in my own liking, so to speak, from the ethics statement that I got from Tom Buck. So at the end of his ethics statement, he mentions that it's totally ethical to take his ethics statement and use it for your own, right? But I took that a step further and just rewording it, and making sure that it fit me more catered to what I'm doing and what I'm talking about. So I've had that for a while, like that's kind of something that I did when Chat GPT first came out, but I haven't really had a place to put it or demonstrate it. And I've always been looking at how I was going to do a website, but a lot of them are just like a hell of a lot of like a lot of control that's needed, right? And I guess me being a control freak as well, I've just made it very easy to like utilize this program. And just, I guess the best way that I can say it is that Notion to me became very intuitive. Like it was very easy to make sense of the way the program works. So I'm just going to continue to run through it, because today I was able to put something together of just a list of gear items of audio and visual. And that's when I started getting into the lenses and things like that. So I'm going to open up Notion and we're going to get through or go through it together. And I'm going to add a couple of other sections to show you exactly how easy it is and what is capable. And I'm just literally scratching the surface, because of the simple fact that I haven't even taken I haven't even watched a video, so to speak, in the YouTube University on how to use it, even though, well, that's foreshadowing. I know exactly where I'm gonna go to get that information, and I'll be sharing that with you as well. So let's get to it. Okay, real quick, go back to it. Oh, we are on that scene, and it says don't forget to hit the like button. I appreciate that. Spazia in the house saying hello. Luis, Aiden, hello everyone, how are you? Matthew Pate, thank you for stopping in. I'm not sure if this is your first time. It says everything looks great and the pop filter is fire. Thank you. And you know what, this pop filter not only sounds great, looks great, it actually feels great to touch as well. It looks like velvet, and that's almost the same texture that it has. But if you want to get your own, maybe this color or a different color of your own liking, I'll have Paul make sure to put the link in the description for Doc Rock's pop filters, which is another thing that I like to mention. You understand? So the pop filters are from a friend of ours here to the Camera Junkie crew, mentor, a bestie from another testy, Doc Rock, and he's been doing this. It's not a Kickstarter; it's his Doc starter. He's doing it completely on his own, and you know he needs all the support that we can give him. So if you've been interested and looking to do so, I highly suggest you get one of these, because even though there's an assortment of colors, I already told Doc that the next color that needs to come in line is black, for everyone who just doesn't even like, you know, or doesn't want to change it, wants to keep it more professional, because on top of them looking great, they actually do sound great. They are so much better than the other pop filters, and I did an entire live stream testing them out. It was really remarkable when I went and listened back to it, and that's when I told them, I was like, everyone's just gonna want to use these pop filters all the time because they're the best sounding pop filters. So we definitely need to get the one that's gonna cater to like the masses, and then have all the variety of different colors. But I could rant on about Doc Rock's pop filters. I'll make sure that Paul puts that in there so that you can go check them out yourself. Yes, for those of you who don't know, this is Tech for Your Needs. His name is also Luis, and he's also known as Nano on these internet streets. There you go. He's so ahead of me. Oh, he says, I ordered 4 about a week ago or so. Love what Doc is doing. Yo, they sound great. And I even though I have this one, I still have 6 on the way myself. And that's just going to be the first batch, because once they're more readily available, I know I'm going to be picking up all the extra colors for all the different microphones. Like I got like, I guess 3 different colors that I'll have at my disposal, and we'll be going from there. Yeah. Just they look and sound great. I highly recommend. All right. So you know what? Let me go ahead and I'm gonna open up my Notion, we're gonna hop into it now. One thing in the description of this video right now, I did put the link to what I've done already with Notion, so you can already go ahead and see in real time. And what's really impressive about this is that through Notion you're able to publish it as a website, and that's exactly what I've done, which, you know, I'll get into in just a bit. So you can actually click into it and follow along, and that way you'll see all the links and what I'm doing with the organization tools that Notion provides. All right, so let me go ahead and do that. Right, open here, and then no more. And then I said, you see, I'm listening to Doc too much that I said, and then goodness. All right. Make sure I don't spoil things, right? I gotta keep the, is it the anticipation? Okay, let's see where we're at here. If I go to that share page, what are we seeing? No. Okay. There we go. That's the right one. There we go. All right. So now you're seeing what I'm seeing, but then you'd also, if you're following along, seeing basically this as a web page. And this is pretty much like a Word document that gives you a lot more tools for organization and then putting things in, I guess, in order, right? So this was like, it's just like I said, it's been very intuitive. So as you can see here, I've created basically like a listing for audio and visual gear that you can like, that either I own or that I'm looking to purchase, things that I recommend, things that I've used, or that I'm going to be currently making videos on. All of that's going to be here. And there's other sections that I want to add to this. So just to give you a demonstration, if I were to click into cameras, now I go into the subcategory, which, as you can see, I changed the banner to the cameras, but I have two sections in there right now, one of them being Sony, the other one being Canon, right? So if I were to click into Canon, now right here, because I'm in the camera section, I have a variety of different Canon cameras that I would recommend. And this also is a list that clicks directly to the Amazon link. So this will also help me as a content creator. If you decide to purchase that, it will go directly using my link. So this is all set up so that, you know, it's also something that I could change on the fly, and the changes happen immediately. So if I wanted to come over here and in this page I said add an icon like an emoji and throw a winky face on there, that's basically live now. And you know, all you would have to do is refresh your page and you'll see the winky face, or not sure if it'll just actually like pop up right there. But that's how simple it is, and it gives me the ability to basically click and drag and move the items from one location to the other. And like I said, everything's happening in real time. It's hold on, right here, let's bring it down. Oop, there we go. So that we keep it in order. As you can see, have the R5C, the R5, the R62, R7, R8, basically in number sequence, right, into the APS-C lines. And we can just take a step back, right? And look, it kept the winky face. Actually, you see, if we can do that, you see, I'm learning on the fly. If it's there, then we're gonna change the icon, and I'm gonna make this a camera. See, that's awesome. So now we have the Sony lineup, and I click in here and we have the featured camera, which is the new ZV-E10 Mark II, which is going to be my next camera. Like I'm just putting the pieces in place to get this going. So That's the featured camera. Then my actual lineup of cameras, the FX30, the A6600, 64, 6100, my ZV1F. So that way I have that set up here, and that's the lineup of cameras. And I don't have it set up because we're here, but if I were to click any of these, automatically it would just open up the web page showing you the listing. So it makes it extremely easy. And like I said, once again, it gives me the ability to add things on the fly. Okay, we have a question here. Okay, we have Lisa J Stocks in the house. Welcome. She says she ordered Doc Pops, or Doc Pops ordered. Check. Nice. Let me actually see what I'm gonna do here. Let me go back here. What did I just do? Okay. Come on. Okay, that's what I needed. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I was clicking on eCam and I wasn't getting complete control so that I could actually switch things around. Okay. So let me see. That's where I was. What I wanted to do was unlock this so that I can move my cabeza. Wait, was the other one locked as well? Yep. Double whammy. All right. So that I can move that there. That's a bit better. Let's just lock that there so that now if I click on a comment like that, everything's in screen. Hooray. All right. And Kevin had a question. Says, have you shared the link to this Notion yet? Yes, it's in the description. But you know what? Let me go ahead and do it again. Actually, I already made what, you know, some people call a pretty link. So a rebrandly link, and that's exactly what's there. So you can go to Mr. I'm typing it in chat right now. Let me actually iterate what I'm typing. Mr. Camera Junkie .live/setup. Yep. And that's the link for this Notion page. And that way you'll be able to, like, you know, browse around and see exactly what we're doing in real time. All right, so let me go back to it. Okay, so now that I did that with the cameras, I like that you could put the icons, because I'm just gonna change it. You know, even though it's generic, it's still gonna be there. But now lenses, let's see what we can do here. Okay, we're not getting any emoji, any icons. Lenses, custom. Oh, we can make custom ones. Oh, it's a wrap. I'm definitely gonna be making some custom ones. Oh, Aiden's asking for snacks. So, yep. Let me go ahead and put the music up a bit. Aiden has me well trained, as you can see. All right. So because there's no real lens icon for cameras, I can make my own, which is a whole nother thing, because I need to learn how to make icons because of the membership that I'm opening up with YouTube, and I want to set some icons that are going to be a lot of fun for the Camera Junkie crew. So that all entails, all in one, we're going to see exactly how we make icons. And then I'll be throwing some in there. So that's going to be fun. I'm going to see if I can use the same tool, because Elgato for the Stream Deck has an icon tool. So I'll see if maybe I just hop into that, make some icons, and see if they're like compatible. All right, so I kind of messed that up, but we're gonna continue. Okay, so lenses, as I click into it, right, I have categories as well. Sony, Canon, and vintage as of right now. So Sony, go in there and you're gonna see right off the bat my favorite lens, which I have the ability to make it the first one on the list, which is my Zeiss 55mm f 1.8, just gangster mode. That is the G Master lens that snuck in the back door. You understand? Without a ticket. That guy is like so nice. Just you've all probably heard me talk. Uh, just wonders about it. How is it? Rap poetically about this lens, and I absolutely love it. But I continue. Then we have the 24 to 70, right? My 85 millimeter, my 24 to 240. Now this lens is like, it's big, it's chunky, but man, this guy actually performs very, very well. This 24 to 240 with the APS-C lens, I was talking to somebody. I don't remember where I was talking about this, but it was just how to do the crop sensor multiplication on Sony lenses, which is basically you take your focal length, you cut it in half, and then you add it to the actual focal length so that you can see the difference between the full frame and the APS-C, the equivalency, so to speak. So like an 85 millimeter, right? If you were to cut that in half, you'd be looking at 42.5, right? So 42.5 millimeters added to the 85 is going to give you roughly 127. So basically right within that range of 127, 128 millimeter equivalent. And that's it. Like that's the math right off the bat. So a 24 to 240 lens, right? We take a 24 millimeter and we cut that in half, which is 12, and we add that to the 24, which makes that 36. So we're starting at 36 millimeters on the APS-C side, and the 240, you're just basically going to move a decimal point. So it's going to be a 36 to 360 millimeter, and that extends it by quite a bunch, by more than 100, right? So if you're going from 240 to 360, just the difference there is over 100 millimeters of reach, and that's what you can get with Sony's all one mount system and putting a full frame lens on an APS-C camera, which is the same thing that I do with the 55 millimeter, which is basically get an 80, like an 85 millimeter look when I use APS-C. So it works both as a 50 millimeter on a full frame, but then as like an 85 millimeter in APS-C. Just putting the music up a little bit so I can hear it better. All right, and these are my Sony lenses, because as you can see, I can just fall into an entire conversation about these lenses alone. Okay, so I do have a list of G Master lenses. This is most like a wish list, but I put them there if anybody was interested. And then the APS-C lenses that I also use, the 16 millimeter, 30 and 56 of the Sigma, the f1.4s, I actually have the 16 millimeter, but the FX30 right now, if I go to it, this is using, you know what? I need to change that on this, and we're going to do it on the fly if I could. I'm going to change the information because all of that is from the previous scene. Yep. We're editing the text. You know what? I'm going to go into live demo mode to show you guys exactly what I'm seeing. All right. So now you see what I see. And we're going to change this information. So we're going to go to, it's still a Sony FX30. Sigma 30 millimeter f 1.4. And this has which one? I forgot, but we're gonna find out right now. And here's a tip. This is just something that I do, right? This is the Pro Mist filter, and this is what, a 1/8. I forgot what was the diffusion. So a 1/8 Pro Mist. So we'll leave that right there. I'm just gonna make the Pro capitalized because of OCD. And all right, so now we're gonna save that there. And now that's set up correctly. I'm gonna go ahead and highlight it and try to move it. Yep. Scooch it all over to the side there. Boom. And now that's where I'm gonna leave that. And if I get out of the live demo mode, now you see that that's listed correctly there. So the Sony FX30 Sigma 30mm f1.4 with 1/8 Pro Mist filter. Now, this Pro Mist filter actually doesn't fit on top of that lens, but I wanted to use it. Well, I have this lens hood that I always use with this lens. So what I did is I just basically dropped the filter into the hood and just basically press fitted it. My little spudger, my little plastic spudger, and I'm just gonna like place it. And once again, I said just like friction hold it against the sides. So now it's just got a little bit of friction and is being held within the, you know, the lens hood itself. And now the lens hood becomes my filter holder, allowing me to utilize that without the need of step-up rings, because I do use step-up rings all the time. This camera right here to the left of that camera actually has an entire set that's getting the 49mm to the size for the teleprompter. But a lot of times when you have to use step-up rings, you're either going to sacrifice like the lens hood. Basically, you're not going to be able to use the native lens hood on it, and this is a bit of the best of the both worlds, so to speak, where I'm putting it and still getting the benefits of the lens hood. All right, and that's set there. All right, so let's go back, and we're gonna go back to the share screen. There we go, and go back to Notion. So here I have my APS-C lenses, my Sigmas, like I just demonstrated, the 30mm, and then also I have my Rokinon millimeter f2.0. Actually, I really like that lens. I use it a lot. Oh, and my Asti Hori. This one, even though it's classified as a full frame lens, I personally placed it into the APS-C category because you cannot use it on a full frame lens without getting like massive vignetting. For example, as you can see, the way it shifts there and it's got that twist, it has enough like coverage for a full frame sensor if it's dead center. But as soon as you start using the feature, right, of actually shifting the lens over, you can't cover the entire sensor anymore, and you get really bad vignetting, like cut off on the different sides. Now, using the same exact lens on APS-C, you can shift it from left to right. You're not getting as a dramatic effect, but you get zero vignetting, which makes it functional. So that's why I threw it in there. But you see, this is exactly what I'm saying. What I like about the Sony, not the Sony, the Notion aspect of how this works. So now I'm gonna show you how to make something like this for yourself, because it's super easy. Okay, Canon, of course. I have some lenses here for RF, EF, so on and so forth. APS-C. My favorite, the 50mm f1.4 from Canon. And then vintage lenses. Some of them I was able to find directly from Amazon. The other ones I put some listings for eBay, but just also to kind of keep track of some of my favorite lenses and some that I've used here as well, right? All available into the vintage lens section. So let's go ahead and let's make a new category, right? Because audio visual gear, there's something here that I didn't want to forget, which is very important: lighting. So lighting, also computers and audio interfaces, because this is just the video side, so we haven't even touched the actual audio category. So even though I have it listed there, right, I'm just gonna go ahead and go right underneath it, like a text document. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna type audio. Right now that that's there, I'm just gonna hit right and I'm gonna go underneath, and now I'm creating another line of what I want in there. So let's say I'm gonna start with interfaces, right? What I'm going to do is I'm gonna actually click the little plus symbol, right? And it's gonna ask me what type of like block I want to add to it. And the one that I want to add is this page, embed a sub page inside of this page, which is just like another layer, right? So now that I've created this layer, we're going to call this interface. Right? And now that that's interface, I click twice or enter twice to give me a bit of space. And now I'm ready to rock and roll. So one of the interfaces of the many that I have here, and I'm very fortunate to say that I have these abilities. Oh no, I'm using this camera. I confusing myself. Here we go. Let me go over here. And I'm just opening up Amazon. And I'm gonna type in the Rodecaster. I'll do the Duo. I'm gonna hit enter, and let me take this preview window out of the way. Okay, and I'm going to get my Amazon link, just copy it over. So basically what I've done is, however you do it, right, your Amazon, the page itself, or if you're an affiliate, your affiliate link. In this case for me, it's my affiliate link for the Rodecaster. Oh, this one's the Pro 2, right? So the Rodecaster Pro 2, and that's the link that I have here. And now I'm just going to right click it and I'm going to paste it. As soon as I paste it, it's going to give me options of how I want this done. I could either do mention, URL, bookmark, or embed. I started playing with all of them and realized that the mention basically just leaves the link as is, but gives it a text. The URL doesn't really work because it's not an entire web page, but if it were, you'd be able to drop that in. And then the bookmark is the one that works with a photo, and as soon as you click the bookmark, it opens up. And now, as you can see here, oh, it was the white one. Yep. I really can't see what's going on, so hold on. Oh, I just closed the page. I reopened it. Now there we go. So that's the white one. This is the Duo. I could actually see what I'm doing now. All right. So once again, I'm copying the link, posting a bookmark, and ta-da, that's it. And now that's a subcategory. So now if I were to go back right here, as you can see in the main page, audio visual gear, I now have camera, lenses, and then I made a category for interfaces. And once I click in there is when I'll have these interfaces in this section. So I'll have the ability to put this one, the original and everything, so on and so forth. But at the same time, we're going to go ahead and take a step back, and we're going to go and create another one that's lighting. Did I spell that right? Lighting in, no, lighting. There we go. And with that, I will then put maybe a category, one of these same ones. And I'm going to name this softboxes. All right. Now that's done. And that's a subcategory. Now the same thing. What's going to be the next one? Lights. Oh, video lights. What else? Oh, okay, that's a good one. Grip gear, right? Now, I'm going to ask you guys. Okay? Yep, he's okay. I'm going to ask you if I'm missing anything, right? Leave it in the chat. Let me know exactly what you guys think. All right. Oh, that's a very good point. Kevin says, I got to believe Canva would be able to do some icon creations. Very, very good point. Yolanda made it. How are you? She says hi to everyone. Kevin says, this would be amazing for creating landing link tree pages for social accounts. Yes, because now let me show you another thing. Even though I've been in this one messing around, right? If you look off to the side, that's where I have this one basically, which is what I was saying. So now this is just a landing page for my ethics statement that I didn't have a place to put it. And now it's already a page here ready to be consumed or understood, right? And all I have to do is go ahead and share it. And once I decide to share it and publish it, it now becomes basically like its own page. Now I could also add it to the what I'm making now and have that as like the last thing, so that if somebody is just, you know, excuse me, if somebody just found my link, because there's also an ability to be found just through Google search. So, you know, using right terminology, it's also going to help SEO lead maybe people who might have not even found you on YouTube directly to your page because they're looking for something that you're, you know, like that you're talking about in particular, right? So let's say somebody's looking for Sony lenses in particular, there might be a chance that some Venn diagram crosses where they'll be shown this and they can find this page online just as a regular web page. But at the same time, like I said, I've already created that like pretty link, right? That link shortener. So instead of using the long Notion link, it's something a lot easier where I can just add that to the .live / whatever I want it to be. So in this case, it's mrcamerajunkie.live/setup. And now it gives you a direct link to this Notion web page where it has everything, you know, and like I was saying, you can move it around however you like because you're able to just grab these things and move it. Now, everything that's here in addition to the left, like personal website, like let's click on that. It's giving you the ability to make your own personal website directly through Notion, which is really got me thinking because basically, you know, where I'm at, this is definitely falls into the realm of good enough. Right. And instead of trying to go crazy everywhere of saying like, oh, am I going to be hosted with this person or go with, you know, Squarespace and things like that. It's not that I'm knocking that at all, but it also leaves room for sponsorship in the future. Right. If I want to get sponsored by a company like Squarespace, having a Notion page being my like point of entry, makes it a lot easier for them to see what I'm capable of, and then saying like, hey, I like what you're creating, but then I would also like for you to have one of our pages, and then you can take it to the next step if you choose to. But at the same time, if you want complete control to be able to just like change things literally on the fly. And the cool part about Notion is that like Notion is on your computer, it's on your phone, it's on your iPad, so you really have access to it basically from wherever you are and whichever device you're logging into. So it makes that real easy, which is what I'm starting to really enjoy about Notion, because whenever I have an idea, I'll be able to do something with it, including like that's one of the reasons why I really also enjoy Fourth Wall, because it gives me the ability to create things on the fly. And when it comes to merch, like for the members who are members there would have already, excuse me, you okay? Don't scare daddy, okay? Don't scare daddy. All right. But as I was saying, it gives me the ability through Fourth Wall to have an idea and basically strike while the iron's hot, right? And create something. And some of the members have already seen that I dropped a members only merch drop that as of right now it's for members only. It might or might not hit the stores, but it's a fun play on words, so it's a lot of fun. But as of right now, that's something that I've only created for the Camera Junkie crew members, and that's something that's like what I have a lot of fun with, because I'm able to do that and just like I said, strike while the creative iron is hot. Stephen Wicks in the house saying hello to everyone. How are you doing, brother? All right, so Kevin says, can you add menus to these Notion pages so that you have super clean, basic website? I think you can. But that also leads, wow, I can't believe we're already close to the hour. Time flies when you're having fun. You see, Paul said, Kevin Cox, yes, you can. And the reason why I was gonna mention that is because I'm still learning on the ins and outs of this. But the person that's gonna be this week's Cities Gone channels that I think you should go and watch. Let's go ahead and see if I can get that up and running. Oop, there we go. None other than Miss Kat Mulvihill. Now, if you're not familiar with Kat, let me be the first one to introduce you to this amazing creator. Not only is she an amazing creator, but she is definitely part of the Ecamm fam. She was a honorary or a actual member, not honorary, actual member of Creator Camp 1.0, and I'm excited to see her when we get back to Amesbury this October. Now, Kat is an amazing creator, and one thing that she started with back in the day was a lot of information on Notion. Now, she dabbles in a lot of different topics. As you can see, Zoom, she does Ecamm, Camo for Ecamm. As you can see, Overcoming Gas. That's funny. I gotta watch that one. You see, like the Streamer X, is it right for you? Canva. She touches on a lot of topics, but I'm just scrolling down so we can see that she's got a couple of videos dedicated particular to Notion, right? With Zoom and breakout rooms, and basically a series here, 6 steps of getting started with Notion, right? And that's why I kind of threw her in for today's Cities Gone, because on top of me recognizing her for being an amazing creator, she's also the person that I knew that I was going to go to learn more about Notion. And these are going to be the first videos that I'm subscribed to watch very, very soon, so that I can learn more about this. And the question that Kevin just had mentioned, right? Can you add menus to these pages? She's the one who showed me that you can, and I didn't know exactly how, but kind of foreshadowing the fact that, yeah, oh, I still left that City's Gone there, kind of foreshadowing that, yeah, exactly, like she's got this entire Notion page, and that's why I didn't mention it before, because she was today's Cities Gone. Kat, is the fact that she has an entire Notion page dedicated to the Lord, not Lord of the Rings, listen to me, to the Game of Thrones lore, right? The lore and all the history. She was a guest on The Flow, and that's when she started talking about this Notion page. And we ended up speaking for like 40 minutes after we finished the podcast, just because we were talking Game of Thrones. Now, she's big on House of Dragons, but for those of you who know me, know that I'm boycotting all shows until they run their complete run of show, so that I can binge watch them, because I can't be hung up on this whole thing of like waiting 2 years for seasons or in between seasons like Game of Thrones did to me. So they ruined me forever. And for that reason, I don't watch television shows until they've run their course. And once I can binge all of the seasons that they've made, then I'll be able to watch. Like, my sister was just talking to me about the show The Boys, which I've heard a lot of things about, both good and bad, but still very interesting show. And it's a Netflix, it's Netflix or Prime, I don't remember which one, but still, the thing is that I think they had said that this was like the last season. She's like, you got to watch it, but then I got confirmation. I was like, no, they said see you in 2 years, because they're pulling one of those stunts where they're waiting 2 years for the final season, which is like, you got to be kidding me. So once that's said and done, then I'll probably go ahead and see if I'll give the show a shot. And if I like, past the first episodes, then I'll continue to watch. But that's my standard now. I don't know how you guys feel about that or what your thoughts are on that, but that's how I work from here on out. Like, I'm about to start watching or finish watching oh my god, I'm running a blank on the name. The Netflix show Stranger Things, because you see I'm running a blank, but Stranger Things was one that I actually started watching. The first season, was blown away, but that's when I had to step aside and let things take their course. And now that that's finished, I'll be able to binge it up. Kevin says, no, I have WordPress, but now I'm like, exactly, I guess he's thinking about switching over to this. Says, I have WordPress now, but sometimes, let me see what it says. I have WordPress now, but sometimes it's too many bells and whistles for the ability to keep working well. Exactly. Like, this makes it super easy to just keep streamlining the process. And I was able to do the majority of what you saw today just during today's gold meeting with Doc Rock. So as we were doing all of our things, I was just running basically the gamut of like what I have, what I wanted to have, and just listing it all out, and then just being able to share that link, and automatically it's published. It's super, super easy. Oh, look what's up. Melanie made it. Says, late to the stream, I started using Notion, but I feel so unorganized with it. I don't know. I think it's helping me organize everything because of this fact. So let me go back to it real quick. Let me minimize Miss Mulvihill. Go back to the share screen. There we go, right? So I guess here off to the side, right? You're able to just grab things and move them. So here, let me go back to this, right? Okay, so let's say grip gear, right? I have a particular item that I want to put in grip gear. So let's just say, okay, a new light. I have the Ulanzi light, the LT... What is it? The LT028, right? The one with the battery. That's a 40 watt light. That's actually what's illuminating me here as like my hair light. As you can see the shadow there, right? So that light, I really liked the look, the convenience of the output. And Ulanzi came out with a new one, which 60 watts. And now the 60 watt, I'm really thinking about changing up this light setup here. But one of the conveniences that I have on this light setup here is that I have the ability to turn it off remotely. So I'm really moving over. I think I'm going to be moving over to the Govee system, right? And the Govee lights, I really like the interface on how to turn them on and off. It also has a very cool feature where it keeps me on track because I am able to change like shifts of light for different times. So like when I'm doing the Flow podcast at noon, my lights change so that even though if I'm like trying to do things, you know, and I'm switching scenes and fixing everything, it lets me know, hey, we're already at 12, we should be live. So it puts that onus on me to make sure like, okay, now it's time to go because it's the time limit, right? We've reached the time, let's go. So that I've ordered some plugs with this new light from Ulanzi, this 60 watt, so that I should be able to remote control or remotely turn this on and off with the same application. So I'm taking a Ulanzi light with a Govee plug and unificating them so that I could actually use that to control my, you know, overhead key light. So that's the plan. All right. So with that being said, let me go ahead and take a look at this. I'm gonna grab once again the quick link, and let's say I'm here. I just throw and I paste the bookmark for the grip gear or for the lights right here for the Ulanzi light, and now that's there. And I'm like, oh, but that wasn't supposed to be. They were supposed to be in the video lights, right? That's what I find, that this is just like amazing. I grab these little dots and I just throw it in there. Boom, that's it. So now I go into video lights, and guess what? It is exactly where I wanted it to be because I had messed up initially, and that's how easy Notion is. Like it's been so intuitive, like even more intuitive than using the Apple computer itself, at least for me, right? Coming from a Windows side, there was always like this thing that I'm thinking that I have to give it the correct destination, and everything on Mac computers is basically drag and drop. So that's exactly how this ends up working, just the same. So if I were to come over here and let me grab this, we're gonna copy this link here and we'll do the same thing. Oh, not the grip gear. But if I were to go here and then I would just paste bookmark and have the Amazon link to the Govee smart plugs that I was just talking about, right? But I'm like, oh crap, that I don't know exactly where I'm gonna put that. That's video lights. Well, you know what? Let's go with lights because the Govee system, right, falls into the lighting. So I'll go ahead and just throw that right there, oh, into the category. Boop. And now it's once again in the correct location. Ulanzi light, Govee plug. And now this is the Ulanzi 60 watt. This one doesn't have a battery, right? So that's what I'm counting on, that immediately you unplug it, it turns off. So that's why I got the Govee smart plug, so that as soon as I tell Govee shut it down, all lights are out, and we're gonna see exactly how that works. I'm really looking into going full video light for that feature, right? For the fact that I want to get I'm trying to upgrade my setup just that bit more, right? Just that bit more. I want to put that light into more use, and I'm going to match it with this Ulanzi LT005 60 watts. So that's definitely going to be more than enough power, because the light that you're seeing hitting my hair right here is running on a battery at 1% right now. So if that's 40 watts, imagine 60 watts. I could literally run it at 10% and there's still more than enough light. And once again, like I said, it's a dedicated video light, which makes all the difference. And that's what I'm going to do, because the last thing is that I have, you know what? Don't even have it here, but it's the aperture. Oh, am I even really typing? The aperture bulb. I can never remember the name, but it's the B7C LED, the smart light bulb. And I'm going to replace this light bulb for the one that I have here as my bounce. Would I even call that a bounce? Well, it's bouncing, but I would call that more my fill light. So this is my key. This is my filling in here, and that's my hair / rim light. Okay. And now that I'm here, I'm going to just add this light because we're in the lighting section. We're going to once again hit bookmark, and right there, my Amazon link loads it up with the photo. Now I'm going to show you if I were to add the link again, right? The same exact link, but then I would do a mention, which just says is new. I'm going to show you exactly what it does. That's all it does, right? It keeps it there, but you would have to hover over it for you to get the actual link, so to speak. When you do it as a bookmark, it leaves it there with the photo, which to me just looks that much better. So let's see what else we can do. If I were to add it, the same link, and we're going to paste it. Oh, and that's what I was going to try. You know what? Because this is something else that I was thinking about doing. You can embed, right? So if you can embed means that you can embed a video. So let's bring this back over here, right? And we come to this part. And right here. Oh, first let's find the video. So you know what? Unagis. All right. What I'm doing right now is I'm opening up my YouTube channel. And I'm going to my content. So YouTube Studio, your content, my videos. So hypothetically, I can create a unlisted video, right? And I'm going to try it by embedding an unlisted video. So let's see if this works to close things out. So what I can do is I could actually create a video, either just make it like visual candy, or if we get audio out of it, you could actually be introducing yourself and letting people know. It's like, hey, my name's Luis, also known as Mr. Camera Junkie. This is my audio visual gear setup list. You know, have fun, going through all the different cameras and lenses. They're all links that will actually help me as a creator directly. So use the links and have fun, right? I can just make that unlisted video and we can embed it onto this because it's basically a web page. So I have a promo for an upcoming podcast, some of you might know. And I have an unlisted video, which I'm going to now grab the link for it. And now that I have that shareable link, I'm going to come over here to Notion. And what did I do? Let's hit the plus sign. Too much speaking on this song, even though I like it. All right. What we're going to do? Oh, no, we were going to paste. Hello. See, I even lost track. Squirrel. All right. So now that I pasted the link, and this is the link to this video, I'm going to embed it. Ooh. Yes. Look at that. No problem whatsoever. You guys can't hear it, but it's definitely playing. Like I don't have it set up through the Rodecaster right now, so I'm not gonna worry because we're closing things out right now. But definitely it works. That is so cool. So now let's see what I can do. If I want, I can come over here and go view site. Yeah, and it's on there. So I bring the site so you can see it here. And this is exactly how you guys would see it, right? And I'm just messing around. We're learning it together. Some of you might know way more, like Paul and Kat Mulvihill, right? But I really think that this is just gonna make it like super easy, I guess. Sometimes, simplicity is key, right? Just to get things done. It's almost like getting the ideas down on paper. And sometimes, like, I know for a fact for me that that's most likely why, excuse me, I don't have a website with Squarespace, because there was just like too many hoops to jump through. And by the time that I got around to it, I was already like, what? Like, I was past my 2 weeks, or my 2 week free trial period before I even put a photo up on anything. But that's just, I digress. But still, this works. This literally works, right? You have embedded videos. I would put something, like that says welcome, right? And you welcome that, so that would come out, and that's the embedded video, compared to like something that is just visual, because you would still have to click on it. I wanted to see if it was like different, like a different type of video where it will automatically play. But, well, I don't know. Maybe that's settings here. You have the ability to view the original. Oh, but this is the web page. So as a guest, you wouldn't be able to change anything. But here, your original. There's options here. As you can see, you can comment on it. There's definitely some options, and I know that I'm gonna learn even more of what we can and can't do with this. But man, that's cool. So you have the ability to embed videos directly into this. That really does blow me away. But if you think about it, yeah, most websites do have that feature. So it's something that's probably not hard when it comes to coding, but just makes this that much easier. So let me know what you guys think. I'm having a lot of fun with Notion. I think I'm going to be building a lot of things out here first, and then as the community grows, then things will change. I've looked back right now just doing this at the things that have changed since we got started with this, and it's just amazing. Like, another thing is that I'm going to use this as another landing page for what's it called, like my media kit, so that if somebody's interested and wants to sponsor the podcast or any of my videos in the future, that they'll have the, like the condensed version of what I've accomplished on the platform, and have the contact information to reach out to me. So that's all going to be here, right? And I'm going to be able to keep that up to date, right? And I think that that's one of the cool things, like, having a landing page for your media kit and being able to like update that. Because if you haven't been paying attention, we're getting very, very close to 2,000 subscribers now. I don't want to bring up any negative things, but if you are on this YouTube space, you probably heard of some not so pleasant things running around with one of the biggest creators, or if not the biggest creator on the platform. And there's a lot of things that I've heard from a lot of different places, from a lot of different creators, that it's the people that we or have like massive channels still one way or another have bought subscribers, have paid for like the likes and the views and stuff like that on their videos. And that really sucks, because it sucks for them, and it just makes this community that much better, because there are no bots here. There are no bot subscriptions. 2,000 amazing camera junkies that we're getting very close to reaching that subscriber amount. And to be honest with you, they're all actual people who've seen my content and decided to support me in the simple way of just clicking subscribe. So that to me means the world. Imagine if I were to have 2,000 people in front of me right now just waiting to listen to what I had to say. It's a pretty remarkable accomplishment, and it doesn't get lost on me. So we're almost there, and I know it's gonna happen a lot sooner than what even I expect. It's a slow trickle, but like it's a real trickle, right? It is the grind, so to speak, of this platform, and I'm very grateful and wouldn't have it any other way. But with that being said, I want to thank every single one of you who come out week in and week out, take out the time to hang out with yours truly here on the Camera Junkie live stream. You guys are what make this my favorite place to be week in and week out, and that's why I am just blown away that we're reaching 2,000 of like-minded individuals who like to hang out and nerd out about camera gear. So you guys rock. Thank you as always for making this my favorite place to be on Saturdays, a place that I will never miss. And we did it, guys. This is episode 192. So if you're not familiar with what that means, that's 192 consecutive weeks of the Camera Junkie live stream without skipping a beat. And I can't wait to see all of your smiling faces as we do it all over again right here, same time, same place on the Camera Junkie YouTube channel. So if you haven't done so already, subscribe so you don't miss it. Click the thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Talk to you.